I want to begin with you with a story. It was literally for me, it was approximately 2 years ago, and I had the opportunity to hear a phenomenal speaker in Southern California. And I had heard about this particular speaker a variety of times. I'd heard about his electrifying messages. I heard about how motivational he was. I'd heard about how good he was, how intellectual he was. And I had been inspired, and I'd been told, you got to hear this guy speak. And so I go to hear this guy speak, and it's like most motivational speakers, it was incredible. There was a lot of great information. There was a lot of great content. There was a lot of powerful moments. But like most speeches, there's always that one part of the speech that really stands out. And for me, it was this particular part of the speech that really stood out to me. And it was when he said, and I quote, he said that every time a child is born, a solution is brought into the world. In essence, he said every time a child is born, a child brings happiness, a child brings joy, a child brings excitement. But he said this child brings dreams, and this child brings vision, and this child brings gifts, and most importantly, this child brings a solution to a problem in the world. So in essence, as you sit here today, if he was to go through the room person by person, individual by individual, organization by organization, he would look you in your eyes and he would tell you that no matter what you've been through, no matter what challenge you have faced, no matter what obstacles you're facing today, you are valuable. Someone say, I'm valuable. He would say you're valuable because he said when you were born, there was something you were to give to someone else in the world. There was something you were to express that was going to make the world a better place. He would say you're a solution to someone's problem even this very moment. But there's another guy. His name is Miles Monroe. And he says, and I quote, the wealthiest place in the world is the cemetery. Now I got a problem. How can the cemetery be the wealthiest place in the world? I mean, people are dead. They can't breathe. They can't walk. They can't talk. And you mean to tell me it's the wealthiest place in the world? Speaker would suggest, yes, it is. And the reason he would suggest it's the richest and the wealthiest place in the world is because there's a lot of people that live life without ever discovering the treasure, the gold, or the wealth on the inside. I suggest to you there's a lot of people in this world today that have multi-million-dollar businesses, but they don't start the multi-million-dollar businesses because they allow fear to stop them. There's people today that have an extraordinary gift, a gift that will make people laugh, a gift that will make people happy, but there's someone in their life that is telling them don't pursue that life in Hollywood. Don't pursue that dream of being a comedian. And what they don't understand is they're missing out on the gold that they were born with from the time of their conception. And then there's other people that have a passion. And you know who you are because you're probably in the room right now. You have this passion to go into one industry, but your parents told you to go into another industry. And you're in between because you're trying to figure out, well, this is what I'm passionate about, but this is what my parents said to do. But what you have to understand is your parents raised you, which is phenomenal. But at the end of the day, you got to choose your path for yourself. And what happens a lot of times is when we don't choose our own path and we let someone else define the path for us, we find ourselves having a job and having a career and being extremely unhappy, frustrated and irritated. And it's really not their fault. It's your fault because you didn't follow the path. Someone say follow the path. Follow the path. But what you don't understand, when you don't follow this path, when you don't go after your dream, when you don't go after your passion, what happens is not only does it affect you from reaching your fullest potential, but it affects others as well. So I've come to find out that when we don't become the best us we can be, not only does it affect us, but most importantly, it affects others. When you don't become the best leader you can be, it's going to affect others. When you don't become the best businesswoman or man you can be, it's going to affect others. When you don't become the best individual you can become, it's going to affect others. Someone say affects others. Say others. It's going to affect others. And really when we deal with leadership, leadership's not even about you anyways. Leadership has never been about the individual. Leadership has never been about the title. Leadership has never been about the fame. Leadership has never been about the popularity. Leadership is about others. Someone say others. Others. See, if you're going to be a great leader, you have to have the perspective and you have to have the mindset where you understand that leadership, effective leadership, is not about how great I am. It's about how great I help other people. It's one of the reasons why Jack Welch says, and I quote, he says, when you become a leader, it's all about growing others. When you become a leader, it ain't about growing yourself. It's about growing others. One reason I say this all the time. I say you're not in the leadership position for status. You're in the leadership position to make an impact. Someone say impact. Impact. The reason you're a leader, the reason you're chosen to be a leader is because you're chosen to make an impact. Now, the problem with our society today is we have too many people that are looking for the popularity, are looking for the status, are looking for the fame, and that's why they're trying to be a leader. And when you have that mindset and we have that attitude, what you end up doing is not only making yourself look like a fool, but what you end up doing is your ineffective leadership qualities affect everybody else. Because, ladies and gentlemen, leadership affects everything. There was a study at Harvard University. They discovered that 80% of people, someone say people, 80% of people discovered that effective leadership affects the state of a community or a nation. And that's just the state of a community, the state of a nation can all be dependent on leadership. Someone say leadership. Leadership. So if you don't have effective leaders, if you don't have people that know how to lead, then you're going to have a horrible community. You're going to have a jacked up nation. And I don't even want to talk about how bad the world is going to be. Because everything is dependent on leadership. Someone say leadership. Leadership. And so I'm excited to be here today because all of you in here are leaders here at William Patterson University. You're a leader. Someone say I'm a leader. I'm a leader. Say it with some strength. I'm a leader. I'm a leader. Say I'm a leader. I'm a leader. You're a leader. And the state of this campus is partially dependent upon you. The experience that students are going to have on this campus is dependent upon you. Which means if I'm going to create an incredible campus community, if I'm going to create an incredible fraternity or sorority, if I'm going to create an incredible organization, then I got to be an effective leader. Someone say, oh yeah. Oh yeah. Got to be an effective leader because everything starts with leadership. Someone say leadership. And if I'm going to be an effective leader, then one of the things I got to understand is not only do I got to discover the leader from within, but most importantly, I got to be effective at leading, serving, and empowering. Someone say leading, serving, and empowering. I got to be effective at not only leading others, but serving others and empowering others for success. And again, I want you to understand, leadership is not something you're born with. Leadership is something that you develop. Vince Lombardi said it very greatly. He said really clearly. He said, leaders are not born, leaders are made. Because he wanted you to understand that you can have the natural ability to lead, but in order to become great, you got to be made. Someone say made. And made deals with development. Made deals with leadership training. Being made deals with places like this. That's why you should thank Donna and all the rest of the people here for putting on this event. Because they're getting ready to help you become the best you as a leader you can be. Someone say, oh yeah. Oh yeah.